Yes, so here we are, another action figure review and another day. Today won't you join with me as we review the MEZCO ONE 12th Collective Wonder Woman action figure, based more or less on her modern current comic book appearance. For those of you interested in the packaging, well, here's the front of the box. I love that Wonder Woman logo. And here's the left-hand side, or the right, I can't even remember. They're both the exact same picture. And then we have the back of the box, where we can see the figure and everything that we're supposed to receive on the inside, with those fantastic Instagram-worthy art action figure pics down the bottom. But this is really why we're here. We want to see everything out of the packaging. And as you can see, there is a lot to go through. So I'll try to be brief. So of course we have the figure, the extra head, the shield, the sword, the battle axe, the spear, the cloak, the stand, her coiled up lasso, and also her lasso with a wire on the inside. We have deflected bullets for her wrist bracers, we have extra hands, and we have Wonder Woman armor. Not to mention a little baggie to put everything in. So this is indeed a lot of value for your money. Here's a close-up look at Wonder Woman's shield. It's pretty fantastic looking, and actually, it's the exact same sculpt as the previous one. See, side by side, there's really no difference. And even the backs of the shields are exactly the same, and that would be expected, because why would they go ahead and sculpt a new shield? I gotta say, I do prefer the old one better. Here is what the sword looks like up close. I love this design for Wonder Woman's sword, and it's exactly the same as the previous one. And I'm not really sure which one I like better. One looks more rustic and battle-worn, and one looks just like it jumped out of the pages of the comic books. Of course, we have the battle axe, which again follows suit with the sword, having a much more rustic Amazonian look, rather than that bright comic book blue and gold look of the previous battle axe. And then for her weapons, finally, we have the spear, which looks really fantastic. It matches with the other weapons, and I gotta say, I'm not sure again which one I prefer, the original one or the current one. It really is a fantastic array of weapons. This is one of my favorite sets of accessories for any of MEZCO's figures. This Wonder Woman also has the neat accessory of these here bullets that are supposed to be ricocheting off her bracers, and the cool thing is there's magnets in them, and they just stick right to the bracers like that. And I do believe that both of these would be magnetic, so let's try it out. Yep, both of them. So she can be like, pew, 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 I'm stopping bullets. Here are both lassos. This one here, that's the coiled up one that she just wears on her hip. We've seen it before, and the same thing can be said for the bendy one. This is a very, very, very short, small lasso. Very, very small. But it's got a wire in it, so you can bend it all up and be like, look at that, it's all bent. And then for all the hands, she has the two closed fists that come on the body, as well as two sets of grabbing hands, one with the thumb extended and one with the thumb in a more closed position, and also relaxed open hands. Wonder Woman also has body armor this time around, with the shoulder pauldrons, and also that piece of chest armor right up here that goes around her neck. The cloak that she comes with this time that she drapes over her shoulders is a nice, I want to say velour. I feel like this fabric would be velour, but I'm not entirely sure. It's different than the last one in the sense that this one kind of has this sort of Greek embossing around the edges like that, whereas the previous one was a dark blue cloak and you actually had those classic Wonder Woman stars all along the edge. But other than that, they are the exact same design, same cutout, same sculpt for the buttons as far as their clasps. And here's a look at what the base looks like. You got the Wonder Woman logo right there on the bottom. And here was what the original stand looked like. This one has that really 80s look. I feel like I'm looking at a figure stand that would have been designed by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. And of course, it has the arm so that you can get her into flight poses. And the figure itself is very much the same, but also very different in quite a few regards to the previous release of Wonder Woman. Aside from the fact that this color scheme is a dark blue with gold and then maroon, and not a bright red, she also has completely different bracers. She's wearing the battle skirt rather than the onesie undies. The boots are very much the same, except for this version of Wonder Woman actually has the knee pads included, where the boots go up a little bit further, but the actual boots themselves, they're the exact same sculpt. Same thing with the torso. The classic one is a nice bright brilliant red, which I actually prefer, and this one's got a kind of dark dreaded maroon. Wonder Woman's battle kilt is this pleather underneath. It doesn't look super great. From the front, it does look really nice though. The stars have been printed on nicely. I need to find a way to fix this though. Mine came with the fabric. Like, this should be either tucked in further or whatever. Maybe I will. I'm not sure how I'll deal with it. I haven't figured that out yet, but I do want it to sit a lot cleaner and a lot smoother. There's also a place right here to stow her sword or her axe, and right here on this side for her lasso. I do very much like her face sculpt. This is the head sculpt that I kind of wish she had came with in the first place. It's neat, it's tidy, and it's not the same as the last one, as you might think. For example, here are both closed mouth face sculpts, and you'll notice right away that the tiara is different and the hair is different. Even the shape of the face is different, with the previous one having a slightly rounder face and the current one having a much more pronounced jawline and cheekbones. Also, the alternate head looks pretty cool as well. They're both painted really nicely. The only difference is this alternate head looks a lot more upset with you. Honestly, I'm probably going to put one of these heads on the classic Wonder Woman just because I like the classic look, but I was never super keen on the hair, so this is definitely going to be a lot more up my alley. Both of these, very classic looking, almost Linda Carter-esque head sculpts. They can go back in the box. But now let's find out exactly how articulated she is. With the rounded hinges right there in the armpits, that's a pretty good full range of motion. No bicep swivel, however, she does have greater than 90-degree elbows, not by a super amount, and they also swivel. Of course, she's got the hinge in the wrist, as most of these Mezco figures do. Of course, she's got a ball peg right there, and that is, you can't, obviously, when you have a big lump of hair on the back, you can't look back like that, but she can look down a fair amount, and you know, everywhere else seems to be pretty good. And then for the torso, I'm going to say nyet, because the body just totally gets in the way there. And then down here, she's got the ball joints. And you know what they're going to afford. Remember, they don't use the drop hinge with Mezco, so that's pretty much what we're going to get with her. Fairly well articulated, but not super articulated. We got a thigh cut right up here. We have a knee that is not double jointed, and it crunches up about that much, and it will rotate, I believe. Maybe it's not supposed to. I don't want to break her knee off, so I'm going to go with a no. It's probably actually not supposed to rotate. And she's got the ankles right here with the little ball peg. They've always got a ball peg right inside the foot here. So, as usual, not the most articulated, not the most articulate of possibilities. However, that being said, for someone like me, this is certainly a lot of articulation. This will be way more than I'll ever need after I do this photo shoot. I'm going to pop her on a shelf, and she's going to look fantastic just standing there. And now for a comparison of the current Wonder Woman to the previous Mezco 1/12 collective versions. As you can see, they're all fairly similar in their size and scale. And also, here she is with the DC Multiverse version, and also the DC Collectibles DC Icons Justice League 7-pack version. So now that we've came this far together, yoinked her out of the box, looked at the figure and the accessories, done some articulation tests, posed her alongside some other figures to get a good idea of her scale, can I recommend her to you as DC fans, Wonder Woman fans, and people that may or may not collect Mezco 1/12's DC offerings? Absolutely I can. I think she's fantastic. Mezco has done their usual thing where they add their own Mezco 1/12 detail to the figure in ways and in places where there either was none previously or it was much more simplified. And they've done it all in a way that looks very appealing and also is very respectful of the comic book source material. Also, if you bought the previous Wonder Woman figure and you'd never been really super satisfied with the head sculpt that came on it, now you have the option of using one of the heads from this package on that Wonder Woman, and as you can see before you, you get a much more classic pre-New 52 style Wonder Woman. So yeah, if you can find her for a reasonable price before it gets jacked up, then I say go for it. But anyway, that's my story, no sticking to it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, found it a useful, interesting waste of time for the day, and if you did, you know all the buttons are that do all the stuff, and I will see you with the next one. Have a DC day, everybody, and take care.